Welcome back. This is Dr. Ginseng, where clinical excellence meets excellent results. What is the best form of ashwagandha? I don't know. So let's get right into it. Ashwagandha, otherwise known as Withania, Somnifera, or Indian ginseng. Ashwagandha has numerous phytochemicals in there, such as alkaloids, flavonoids, saponins, steroidal lactones, ergostane, and gamma amino butyric acid, which really is GABA. It's in small amounts, so it can impact stress hormones. So, for thousands of years, they've used it for many different symptoms, such as anxiety, stress, cognition, fertility, joint pain, muscular performance, menopause symptoms, hypothyroid, sleep, cardiorespiratory symptoms, as well as insulin resistance or pre-diabetes. Now, how can one plant affect so many different systems or so many different symptoms? Okay. Basically, it reduces cortisol, and reducing cortisol will help reduce anxiety, stress, help you sleep a little bit better. It'll also have impact on your cardiovascular system, as well as your blood sugar issues. So it has a global effect on many different things. Now, there are 4 different products out there currently being used in the market. Okay? The regular one, which is a non-proprietary blend or standardized blend with Withanolides, with Withaferin A of less than 3%. So what this is basically the powdered form, or you get it in a capsule or a tincture, and it's not like a special processing method, but they have less than 3%. This is what's been used traditionally. Now, there's a product called KSM66, and they standardize the extract from the root. So it's a root extract, and they get 5% concentration of the active ingredient Withanolides. Now, they've done studies up to 12 weeks. There's over 21 studies out there currently, both animal studies as well as double-blind placebo studies. Now, these studies are not huge, but it gives you a good indication of how it impacts our systems. The KSM66 root extract is a full spectrum, meaning it has all of these phytochemicals still in there. Its processing is used with milk. Therefore, if you have a milk allergy, this may not be the one for you. Okay? Now, there's another product called Sensoril, and that is both the root and leaf extract, and it has double the amount. So 10% concentration of Withanolides, and you can use it up to 12 weeks safely. There's 12 studies, probably a couple more, and there are 3 active ingredients in Sensoril. Okay, it's not the full spectrum one. Okay, there's another one called Shodan, which is root and leaf extract, and it has a whopping 35% concentration of Withanolides, and they used it up to 8 weeks without issues. Okay, and there are 3 human studies on this. Now, there are multiple studies, but the studies they will utilize these products will use these standardized products because you can have accurate measurement of the concentration of Withanolides. So let's get right into the studies. They've done studies on bipolar. They use Sensoril, 500 milligrams a day for 8 weeks, and they've had positive impact. Chronic stress studies, they use KSM66, 600 milligrams a day for 6 weeks. And then they've also used Sensoril in different types of measurement as well as dosages. So they'll use Sensoril 125 milligrams once a day for 8 weeks, and they've noticed improvement in stress and anxiety as well as cortisol levels. Okay, what they did was they used that and they noted positive impact. And then they did 125 milligrams twice a day, which is a total of 250 milligrams for the day for 8 weeks. And from here to here, there was a pretty big statistical difference between using it once a day and twice a day. They did another one with 250 250 milligrams twice a day, which is 500 milligrams, for 8 weeks. The jump was not as big between this and this. So the biggest jump was from 125 milligrams to 250 milligrams per day versus 500 milligrams per day. There was a statistical difference here, though. Okay, so there was some additional positive effects on stress, anxiety, and cortisol, but not as big as between 125 milligrams once a day versus twice a day. So when they did the stress questionnaires and so forth, they noticed a 62% improvement as well as a 15% drop in cortisol in the blood. Right? So it's pretty positive, strong study on stress management. Now there's studies on hypothyroid, 600 milligrams for 8 weeks, noted the impact on thyroid stimulating hormone as well as T4 and T3, which is the hormone from the thyroid. They've done infertility studies, KSM66, 600 milligrams for 8 weeks with positive results. They've done knee and memory and OCD studies. They've done strength studies on KSM66, 500 milligrams a day for 8 weeks. And they noted increased muscle mass, strength, increase in testosterone levels, as well as a VO2 max. So that's very positive. Again, these are smaller studies, but larger studies would be beneficial. They've done sleep studies with Shodan, and they've also done anxiety and stress management studies with Shodan, and they've also noted a positive impact. And here's another one on cardiorespiratory with KSM66, 300 milligrams twice a day, so a total of 600. Now, there are a lot of different studies, right? And they all have positive impact. Now, would one work better than the other? I don't know. Would the percentage of Withanolides make a difference in terms of how much stress reduction versus muscle mass, etc.? I think those studies need to be done. So basically the studies range from 125 milligrams a day up to 600 milligrams per day. And the half-life of ashwagandha is 5 to 6 hours. So it basically clears out of our system in about 2 to 3 days. So you have to dose appropriately and be consistent with it, and you could reap the benefits of it, all right? Now, it's been noted that KSM66 has more of an uplifting type of therapeutic benefit, meaning if you're low mood and your cortisol is somewhat low. Sensoril has more of a calming effect, maybe because it has increased percentage of Withanolides, but has a more calming effect. So it's good to do if you're highly anxious and stressed, right? Shodan has an impact on deep sleep and is the most potent of the three. However, we don't know if this is really any better than, let's say, the regular extract or the powder form of it with Withanolides of less than 3%. Because they've never done a cross-sectional study where they looked at all 4 of them and see which one would be better for each of these symptoms. I'm sure they would all have an impact. Now, there are some side effects that are associated with it. In general, it's pretty safe. You have minor GI upset, some nausea at times, and then you have rare hepatotoxicity. And you shouldn't use it if you have hyperthyroid or overactive thyroid. Okay? Now, it's been noted in some of these forums and online that if you have low mood and you take ashwagandha, it could actually lower your mood even further, make you feel really flat. So you have to be cautious and look for those symptoms also. And you want to cycle on and off. So most studies go to about 8 to 12 weeks. So you want to maintain a strict regimen for a period of time and then maybe cycle off for about a month and then you can go back on it. So it's very important to do that. Now, really the way ashwagandha impacts us in a more significant manner is because it impacts the brain. So the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. So the adrenals produce cortisol. So it impacts that loop of the brain talking to the adrenal glands. In turn, if it impacts that loop, it would also impact the hypothalamic pituitary thyroid axis, or the hypothalamic pituitary ovarian axis for women. And in men, it would impact the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, impacting hormones and testosterone, etc. So it has really a global effect. Again, you need to probably try out the different types of supplements and see which one might work better for you. It might be that just the regular powdered form might be best, or one of these three might be better for you. At the end of the day, I don't know which one's going to work the best for you, but you can try different ones and see if it makes an impact. All right, my name is Dr. Ginseng, where clinical excellence meets excellent results, and we'll see you guys next week on the healthy side. Have an awesome day.